大家好，我们今天来拜访的公司是欧莱雅，欧莱雅都非常的熟悉。我在这里边说几个方面，可能欧莱雅并不是让大家觉得很熟悉的特点。第一个，欧莱雅是一个巨头，我们说它大，并不是因为它的规模大和营业额大，而是它非常的复杂。我估计很少有人能够完整的数清楚到底有哪些品牌和产品是属于欧莱雅的。欧莱雅的第二个特点就是竞争非常激烈，不光是在美妆行业里边有非常多的竞争对手，而且欧莱雅经常会成为很多创新创业企业的颠覆的对象。第三个欧莱雅的特点可能和你的直觉不太一样，欧莱雅是一个科技创新主导的企业。在2019年，欧莱雅宣称要让自己成为一个科技美妆企业。那么欧莱雅的创新很有特点，欧莱雅的创新来自于3个方面，一个是来自于本公司的自主的创新，比如说欧莱雅曾经研发过一款基于 AR 技术的彩妆试妆的应用，叫 LOréal Makeup Genius。那另外一部分的创新来自于和其他伙伴的协作，比如说欧莱雅在2019年与阿里巴巴集团推出了一款帮助年轻消费者来去了解自己皮肤痤疮状况，并且能够定制化解决方案的这么一款 App。那最后的话，欧莱雅还经常进行大量活跃的并购活动，比如说在2018年，欧莱雅并购了加拿大的科技公司 ModiFace。最后一点，欧莱雅的一个特点就是，这是一家非常注重人才的招募与培养与发展的这么一家公司，所以你在大学的时候，很有可能在你们学校里边就发现了欧莱雅商业案例竞赛的这个赛事，你或者参与了它，也有可能围观了它。另外一方面的话，在业界里边，欧莱雅经常会被视为黄埔军校，很多年轻人在走出欧莱雅之后，在其他的领域里边取得了非常好的发展。那介绍完了欧莱雅之后的话，我们看一下今天我们的这个访谈嘉宾。我们的访谈嘉宾他的中文名字叫费博瑞他的同事们亲切的叫他费总。我不会完整的去讲解他的职业履历，我说一些有趣的事件吧。费博瑞是2000年加入了欧莱雅集团，那么在2008年的时候，那一年他34岁，他被任命为欧莱雅黎巴嫩的总经理，这是欧莱雅历史上最年轻的一位区域总经理。那么在2015年到2019年期间他担任了欧莱雅德国区的总经理。那在他的带领下，德国成为了欧莱雅全球第4大市场。从2019年的7月1日开始，他担任欧莱雅中国区的总裁。所以你可以看到他的职业经历中有非常多的闪光点，但所有的人心里边都知道他目前遭遇着巨大的压力。首先就是欧莱雅中国目前是欧莱雅集团第2大市场，那么有一项指标是排名全球第1的，就是欧莱雅中国的1/3的销售通过在线渠道来完成的，这一点远远的高于排名第1的美国市场。所以费博瑞先生来到中国之后，很多人正在为他做倒计时，那就是欧莱雅中国在他的带领下要经过多久可以超过欧莱雅美国，成为全球第1大市场。接下来我们就会见到真实的费博瑞先生来完成与他的专访。Hi, good afternoon.
Professor,
Glad
welcome.
to meet you here.
Thank
in
you
this
very
fun...
much for coming, Professor, too.
Okay.
Let's have a tour together.
After you.
Yes. And here in these offices, we are in this extension that we just actually inaugurated a few days ago. Because more and more we see today that the teams, they need to work in a collaboration mode. And then, there is a lot of way in this new digital world where a lot of services, they need also to be involved. IT, operation, business, HR. So the fact that teams can, from one side, work in a very, I would say, traditional way on their desk. We created also places, we call them collaborative area.
So finally, the idea is to transform the whole system into an agile organization.
So here you see also part of also the teams here are human resources.
Oh.
And human resources in L'Oréal are actually, like in every company, are important, but in L'Oréal is particularly important because we believe that what makes the difference is the people. So we're very much a learning company, and that's why it's a good opportunity, being here, because these offices that were also very much designed and developed with the HR team to to make sure that we are also taking in consideration our employees' point of view and also understanding what kind of environment the employees they feel comfortable to develop.
So I have learned that you are a big fan of football or soccer.
Yes.
So you must be a master for playing this one?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. So which one you team? You want the red team?
I prefer the red one.
Yes, I'll take the yellow one.
So, wow.
You ready?
I am ready.
Yeah.
Oh! Ah! Disaster. Oh.
It's a bit strange, this one. it's not...
Hey. Wow.
Bravo.
I win. This is the first time for me to win.
Congratulations.
In this kind of table soccer.
Congratulations.
So, as a fan of soccer, what's the inspiration you can get from playing soccer or watching soccer games to transfer or to convert these inspirations to your career? Anything like that?
Yeah, of
Any
course. I think it's very, being in a leadership role, you quickly understand that the leadership of tomorrow is about being a coach to your team.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good lesson in soccer because the coach is always sitting there. He cannot go to the pit. He can only prepare them, put them the strategy, empower them, and at the end they are there to play and win. And this is, I think, what is for us as leaders for tomorrow. We should not do the jobs or tend to go to do the job or to explain to the people how to do the job. We have to create them the condition that they can actually be empowered and they can play and win.
Okay, so the coach is both a planner and an enabler.
Exactly.
And in this way, playing is also learning.
Absolutely.
Great, you're a professor. Playtime is over. Let's do the interview now. So thank you for being here to do this interview. I know that 2019 is a great year for LOréal China. The sales revenue growth rate hits 35%. It marks the best performance in the latest 15 years. But now, uncertainties for economic growth is just spreading widely across the world. I have read some reports to figure out the growth forecast made by some economists. And according to their models, the global economy will contract by 2.2% this year. And among the G20, all countries but 3 will register a decline, a recession. So now, the economic forecast results is really miserable. And then this is the moment for the business leaders to struggle to safeguard business growth or to thrive at times of continued turbulence. So let's start with the broad topic, business growth. So theoretically, we know that if somebody is exploring the opportunity space for business growth, there are 2 dimensions, product and market. We can grow the business by focusing on existing products or new products. We can grow the business in the existing market or new market, so that 2 by 2, there are 4 possibilities.
Absolutely.
So this is the Stone Age model, and I'm quite interested in your approach. So what's your approach to grow the business for LOréal China, and is there any priority for the tools?
So, first of all, we're in the beauty industry. And when we speak about beauty industry as L'Oréal, leading in the world and leading here in China this industry, our mission is beauty for all. So we are here to provide the best of product, experience and services to all consumers in their infinite needs and aspiration. This is why within L'Oréal, we have big brands, existing brands, that have been here for years. And from the other side, we have also introduced new brands. And so in terms of brand approach, both have the role to play. Big brands are getting bigger. And big brands are getting bigger because they're also recruiting and pushing penetration. So to grow in a market, as you just mentioned, you could grow your existing business. But from the other side, you can also tap into new opportunities, which we call white spots. In China, for L'Oréal, we do both at the same time. Why we do both at the same time? Because the market beauty in China is still lower in terms of development versus the other markets. Yeah. So there is less sophisticated routine, yet it's growing very fast. And previously, when a Chinese consumer used to have 1 or 2 skin product usage, today it's more 4 or 5. When makeup was not a category very much developed, today the sophistication of the Chinese is pushing them to also use more product. So for us as a company, it gives this opportunity for our existing brands to keep growing and penetrating. And from the other side, we see that within the consumers, there is some tribes. There is some consumers, they look at very specific kind of product or services. This is where we have introduced recently a new brand. I take 2 examples, a 3CE Korean makeup brand, extremely inspired by a fashion house in Korea, which is giving a new inspiration and answering to a certain new needs or dreams of Chinese consumers when it comes to beauty and Korean inspiration, beauty and fashion. And this brand was introduced only a year ago, and today it's, even in these days, it's been growing extremely fast. So I don't want to say the secret, but the recipe of the success of L'Oréal in China, and in general L'Oréal, that we're extremely balanced. We have a balanced growth between what we call existing brand and new brand. We have also quite a good balance between growing into new products and pillar products. Yeah. We launch a lot of innovation, but yet our iconic product is still growing in the market. Génifique, for instance, is one of the, Génifique from Lancôme is the essence for the skincare. This was launched almost 10 years ago.
Classic. So in the beauty industry, the players must keep innovating the products to introduce new products endlessly. Yeah. So at the end of the day, there must be a very complicated product portfolio. And then time after time, the Pareto principle work. So the Pareto principle goes like this. It's about the contribution for each product item to the sales revenue. And there is a saying, people are created equal, but products are not. So some product items, they make unequal, uneven contribution to the sales performance. So if we check the sales revenue distribution, the distribution curve must be skewed. A small number of brands or products, they contribute disproportionate sales revenue. So in daily vocabulary, we know 20-80 rule, that 20% of the products, they contribute 80% of the sales revenue, so that we may spare more resources for those star products. But now, in the digital era, we find that the distribution is even more extreme, so that we have the term killer products, 爆款 or 爆品. So just a small number of these products are due to the influence of social media, influencer marketing, they can go viral immediately overnight. So that I would like to know once again, your secret formula. Yes. What's your secret formula recipe to launch the killer products, or in other words, to ensure the hit rate of the killer products?
Now, you're very right. I mean, innovation plays a big role, and particularly in the cosmetic industry, but in many other industries as well. But why I'm saying particularly in cosmetic industry, because beauty industry is not commodity. Beauty industry is a quest for beauty, is a quest for better quality, better results. So I think fundamentally, and this is also what we've been doing since more than 100 years, is that we've been always investing on the innovation in terms of quality, in terms of formula, in terms of true benefits. This is the beginning of everything. It's the alpha and omega of putting product into the market. And this product innovation has to be consumer-driven innovation. Means that we have to bring to the consumers a real better that's what they could expect. So you know, consumers, they always want better. Yeah. And the way to anticipate this expectation, but also to inspire them, is the recipe to have a true innovation. So that, I would say, is our fundamentally starting point. Then, and you're right, today we could see in the digital era that algorithm of the programs, of the e-commerce, is pushing the big products to get even bigger. Yeah. And it's true, it's a phenomena. It's used to be also before when there was no online, but now online even amplify it. But from our perspective, it is, as I was saying, very normal. You know, when you have such a strong product innovation, to be able to offer it to the biggest number of consumers. So that's also in terms of business approach, is that make sure that your product is known and seen and tested by the biggest number of consumers. The consumers that actually this product was made for. And this is where today digital and this new technology is allowing you to have an innovation which is targeted innovation. And then you can then put more product targeted to different consumers. And that's what's changed totally in terms of activation marketing from the past, where you were communicating one product to all. Today you can communicate each product to a certain number of consumers, which actually was developed for these consumers. Is it an age scheme, for young consumer or more age consumers? Is it for a certain type of skin, more dry skin or more mixed skin or more oily skin? Is it for a certain beauty inspiration when it comes to Western beauty inspiration or Chinese beauty inspiration or Asian beauty inspiration? And that allows you as a company to be able to have indeed big innovation, but being able to have many of them. Yeah. And this is where today, L'Oréal has more than 30 brands, and each brand has a certain number of very big bow pins, as you call them, targeting different needs of the consumers.
So the winner takes all. I don't know if the winner will take all, but hopefully they are from your brands, right? That's the future. And if we check the life of marketers, they work very hard. And I believe the marketers today, they have been so blessed. Every year, every quarter, they have the new gadgets to put into their toolkit. So just to name a few, AR, VR, AI, machine learning, algorithms, social media marketing, influencer marketing, Internet of Things. They have so many gadgets. So is it possible that since we have too many marketing tools in our hand, we have no idea which one may work best? For example, during the period of the pandemic, some CEOs, they themselves would like to play the role of a host for online video streaming to sell their products. So I have no idea if that kind of tactic perform well or disappointedly. So tell me, given so many tools in the toolkit of marketing, how would you prioritize them? How would you evaluate their performance in your company?
So we almost now 10 years ago, our CEO, Jean-Paul Agon, in L'Oréal said, that digital will revolutionize the beauty. And at the time, digital was still early age to see what impact digital will have on beauty. But very early, we realized that digital and beauty is a perfect match, because digital can amplify beauty, can personalize beauty. That was a very strong belief. But also we had a second very important belief, is that it cannot be digital from one side and then marketing from the other side. We immediately blended marketing into digital. This is why we don't say it's a digital marketing strategy. We say it's doing marketing in a digital age. Yeah. And doing marketing at digital age is exactly what you described. It means that you need to assess all the tools that today allow you even to be more consumer-centric. So from a marketing perspective, what never changes is the consumers. Because as much as the behaviors of the consumers is adapting to this new technology, as much as the marketeer will be able to respond to that using these tools. And we have something in L'Oréal which is very strong, is this culture of test and learn. Because we don't know exactly what will be the ideal recipe, but we always encourage our teams to test and learn. And if they don't test, they cannot learn. And if we don't give them the risk also to fail, and to give them the environment that it's okay to fail, as much as we have learnings that we can build on. And this is where we've been as a company very much adapting to all these new tools. And today, I would say that you take a marketeer in L'Oréal, but yes, there is a very complex tools around, but we are very much able today to find the right recipe depending on the category, depending on product, depending if it's an innovation, to really answer always and engage always with the consumers.
Great, I love this idea, test and learn. I'll put it in academic terms, that is experimentation.
Yes.
So that by doing those experiments, we can finally be both inclusive and selective while we are thinking about the validity of all of the options in our hand. So far we have talked about the business growth opportunities along the market dimension and also along the product dimension. But some forward-looking companies, they would like to revolutionize their business model. I have some examples. Some companies, they have redefined the revenue model, the revenue streams. For example, Amazon, a couple of years ago, Amazon introduced the paid membership program known as Amazon Prime, just like the Netflix model. And since 2019, Apple generated more sales revenue from providing services like iCloud, more than selling products. So in this regard, what's your vision for the revenue streams of LOréal in the future?
Yes. Now, again, as I said, we sell products, but beauty is not only about product. Yeah. Beauty is about experience, is about services. So we always believe that beauty is beyond a product. And you know, L'Oréal, when we started as a company, we started selling product to hairdresser, but the hairdresser that was selling results and services to consumers. Yeah. So, you know, we have one of our division which is called the professional product division, where we are very much into selling services and not only product. But what today will very much change, and as you mentioned, in some companies they change their business model, is also in L'Oréal we're also evolving, because we, for the first time, you know, we purchased a tech company called Modiface. You know that the story of L'Oréal for years was always to acquire brands and have the huge portfolio of brands. But 2 years ago, for the first time, and last year it was announced, and we used it around the world, and including here in China, we acquire a Modiface. And acquiring Modiface, we're not acquiring a product, we're acquiring an experience, we're acquiring a service, a personalized service. And we very much believe that this will be the future. Yeah. This is why this new transformation that L'Oréal is today championing, we call it the beauty tech transformation. Beauty is the brand, is the service, the experience, and tech is the technology. And how technology can enable beauty to be more personalized, how technology can enable beauty to be more precise when it comes to consumer target, how also technology can empower beauty to be even more consumer-centric. And this is a bit how we are now moving as a company to continue with our fundamental, you know, the research, the innovation, the marketing, but using technology to even offer more than just product to our consumers.
I'm looking forward to the days that we not only buy products from L'Oréal, and also some innovative buyers, they may subscribe to the service. So far we focus on revenue stream model, but if we expand our horizon, we know that in recent years, one of the most prominent business model innovation is the platform economy. We can say that we're doing business in a two-sided market or multi-sided market. So in the business landscape of L'Oréal, is the platform model a desirable option? If this is the case, what are the key resources, key competencies ready here in L'Oréal to enable L'Oréal to play a key role in this platform model? That is, L'Oréal will turn out to be a hub in a complete business system.
So, you know, part of my, the strategy that I presented, you know, in beginning of the year to give the perspective of the incoming 10 years, you know, I described this strategy under how we will move from a big company to a huge company, and how we'll have a huge destiny and a huge role here in China. And out of the huge, there was, of course, this new horizon, which is the H of huge, and this role of China to the world and the role of the world to China. There was also the U, which is you as empowering and co-creating with our consumers and employees. And then there was the J, which is the healthy and sustainable growth of the future. And then there was the E. And the E is exactly the ecosystem. We very much believe that the ecosystem that China is offering is unique. And for a beauty company that wants to champion the beauty tech, this platform economy that you describe is exactly what we believe in L'Oréal that we need to accelerate in the coming years, is this opening up to this ecosystem and partnering with the ecosystem. So the ecosystem, obviously we have always an internal ecosystem, which is definitely all our functions when it comes to R&I, when it comes to operation, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to digital. This is the internal ones. But this is quite important, because breaking the silo internally is the first key to open the company to external. And then, of course, opening up the company to external is being able to partner with startup. It's to be able to partner with our partners. Is also to have a different way that we can also enable, you know, the beauty when it comes to services or when it comes to experiences on the retail side, on the O+O side. You know, we signed last year, we entered in a venture capital here, it's called KT in China, which allow us also to have access to a lot of innovation, not necessarily linked to the beauty industry, but linked to what is around also the beauty, when it comes to chatbot, when it comes to logistic, when it comes to green formulation, when it comes to different kind of innovation. And I think this is what is the role of the company of the future, is to open up and partner and then get even a better, you know, business relation to give a better service at the end for consumers.
That must be the most precious infrastructure in the future.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's step back a little bit to the classic thinking. On our path to this greenhouse, you have highlighted the importance of one keyword, that is customer-centric or customer centricity.
Yes.
In the old days, this kind of idea is quite simple. That is, marketers must do their best job to create value, to communicate value, to deliver value to the customers.
Yeah.
However, the value has been defined in the quite narrow way. We just focus on functional value, experiential value, self-expressive value, and economic value. But nowadays, if you check the mindset of the Chinese consumers, especially those from the younger generation, their horizon is broader. They not only focus on their self-interest, they are also driven by the social values. For example, animal rights, endangered species, fair development, climate change, and some other topics like historical and cultural heritage conservation. So you know that some beauty brands, they introduce co-branding efforts together with the Forbidden City, and the young consumers, they get so excited about it. So we are moving from the individual value to social value. So in this regard, what kind of actions have you taken?
So you're very right, and you know, it's consumers are telling us this, but also our employees are telling us this. You know, when I sit and I have the opportunity to sit with our young employees that are joining the company, they have also different set of value when it comes to the contribution that they can do. They all want to change the world, and they want also to have the means and the power that to allow them to change the world. And in L'Oréal, we very much believe as well that part of our value, our set of value, is also to do the actions for a better world. And this is where we have done in the past many initiatives. One of them is a global program called Sharing Beauty with All, where we had took commitment toward, of course, the environment. When it comes to our promises, where you know, this last year China was the first country of all L'Oréal subsidiaries, the first country was on all our sites we've been carbon neutral. Yes, this is something very important. This is a very important step towards the protection of the environment, but it's not enough. As you said, we have even to go further, because consumers today expect even further action from us. And we went further. You know, we decided, for instance, to have a green parcels project, because we know that young consumers, they like to shop a lot online. But we know that today there was a lot of plastic used to do the boxes. So we decided to switch all our parcels for the selective division into green parcels, so there is no usage of plastic, everything is recyclable. And that's, it was a commitment, and you know, when we started 2 years ago, we did 1 or 2 million. Last year we reached more than 10 million of green parcels that have been delivered. And the people are very much proud when they see that they could do concrete action actually to contribute for a better world. And then we are still moving ahead, because now I think this Sharing Beauty with All is becoming for us a new philosophy. You know, is that from the conception of a product to its packaging, to the way we are also activated in the market, how we can have a set of value which allowed, you know, social value, environmental value, ethical value to go with what we do in terms of beauty. And this is what we address it as well as how L'Oréal could create this landscape at what we call a good consumption. Because a good consumption is when consumers, they also, when they consume, they can do a good for the environment, they can do good for the society. And then also they raise expectation toward enterprises like us to push us to even go further.
Yeah. On our way to the greenhouse, you have introduced the HR department to me.
Yes.
You term them as the enabler of the company. So while we are recruiting new employees, somebody would emphasize the critical importance for the fit of values.
Yes.
We believe that the new employees, they must fit the value system of the company.
Yes.
But some of my colleagues, they have some controversial idea with this. That is not, we cannot ask the employees to fit our values. We need them to contribute to our values. So I believe this is also the case while we are doing externally oriented marketing. We not only fit the values of consumers, we also need to contribute to their value, to the consumer culture.
You're right.
That's the future. And you have just mentioned the practice of LOréal in marketing personalization in user experience. So LOréal is the leading edge pioneer in this aspect. In the year 2014, LOréal introduced L'Oreal Makeup Genius. And with this app, the users can try the mock makeup experience either at home or at the point of sales. So my MBA students, while they are doing the group assignment, most of them, they try this app, girls and boys, to check how the eyeshadow and the lipstick will look on their face. So everybody excited. And you have mentioned that in 2018, the Canadian company Modiface acquired by L'Oréal. So I have a question here. This is also the question from my MBA students. So fascinating experience, but so far this kind of AR-powered user experience is only limited to a selected product line targeting a narrowly defined consumer segment, a niche. So what is the vision for all of this kind of marketing personalization user experience applications? Are they the universal offerings in the future, or still they are the niche offerings? So what's your consideration in this regard?
No, I mean, you mentioned it. We've been very pioneer with this Makeup Genius app that was launched in 2014. I have to say that it was a very nice virtual test color. But the fact that we went and purchased and acquired this company Modiface, because in Modiface there is a real expertise of how really product will look at your skin, and they can capture the entire pigmentation of your face. So the real development that is happening now is that it's becoming beyond just a try-on. It's becoming really a way to capture your skin pigmentation and give a very precise result. And I think face is one, hair is another one, because this is what it's now coming, is style my hair and color my hair, and that's a very difficult technology. Because
harder than skin.
Much harder than skin. To get the right color on your pigmentation of hair, and being able also dynamically to see the color on your face, and that could be also a tool which will allow also the hairdresser to do a different way of diagnostic to the consumers, because today you still open a shade chart like this and you see the colors, you have no clue how it could look on your face. So these tools, I think very much will be the future, and they will be only the future if they go totally into beauty services. So the Makeup Genius was very much an individual program. I think Modiface, with the service that we do, they actually incorporated within partner, within a consumer journey. And it means that this will allow the consumer to have a virtual also diagnostic on the skin, or virtual try-it-on, and it will be part of the consumer journey. And when we put it really part of the consumer journey, then you can really scale it up, and then can really real impact on the beauty routines.
So it is both.
It is both. And
timing depends.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so L'Oréal is a giant both in the beauty industry, but also in the well-connected business ecosystem.
Yes.
So economies of scale, economies of speed, most people believe that we cannot have both. But I believe that you want both.
Yes.
So how can you solve the conflicts between speed and the scale in this company?
Yeah. But as I said from our origin, L'Oréal is a very much entrepreneurial company. So we used to say until today that we are like a big company, but with a startup mentality. We're a leader, but with a challenger spirit. Yeah. And I think this is always very much lived every day. So we are not, we are using the size of the company to give us the means to experience and to test and learn, as I was saying before, a lot of things. And we value this in our spirits of working. Lately we've been internally rewriting a bit the spirits and the culture of the company. And part of the keywords that we are always talking to our talent, we're saying, it's all about being able to test and learn is the new consumer satisfaction. It's also very important to empower people, because when people feel empowered, they can actually have a risk, and they need to feel trusted as well, and to dare. And honestly, in the world of today, if you don't dare, you don't get. So to be able to push a bit, as you said, to discover, you need to feel trusted and empowered. And that's a bit also one of our secret recipes in LOréal, that every one of us believe that LOréal is his own company. So, and that's, I think, it's a wonderful spirit, because it pushes you to be entrepreneur, it pushes you to feel empowered, it pushes you to be trusted, and at the same time, we are a big family. So we are able to, to handle all this experimentation and move our big company into the future.
Collective power.
Collective powers. You are the professor, you find the right word for it.
Thank you. So, as we have mentioned that in each company, in each industry, we are in urgent need for innovation. We are searching for originality and creativity. And all the innovations are coming from talents, from people.
Yes.
So the ultimate management is people management.
Yes.
But we know that there are so many dynamics and uncertainties in the external environment, so that many executives are keenly interested in this topic, that is how to upskill and reskill their talents so that more innovations can be possible in the future.
Yes.
So here, with regard to talent development, what's the objective and what's the methodology here in LOréal? So here in my school, some colleagues and we would like to advocate the synthesis or integration of the training in strategic thinking plus design thinking plus analytic thinking. So I don't know what is most desired in terms of reskilling and upskilling here in LOréal business analytics or some other soft skills. So what are they?
So there is many interesting question within this with this thought, but first of all, the talent, the word talent, and it's everyone is talented. We don't believe that it's not about saying this person is talented. Everyone has a talent. The question is how we developed the individual talent of the teams. How we make somebody who entered today in LOréal, in a year time, he feels that he's been developing and improving. So the talent management in LOréal is about learning and growing the talent people. And we have a very strong agile learning approach. Learning agility is in the heart of what we do. This is why we do a lot of upscaling, we do a lot of self-learning, we do a lot of e-learning. We provide the right training for the right people at the right time. And this is the best way to grow people, but to engage them as well. Because when you have people that engage and passionate and they're growing, this is also the best that they can also give to their work, and this is what they can perform at best. So the real ways to do that for us is not about evaluating the performance of people, but is evaluating the capacity of the people to adapt and grow and learn. And if they have this capacity of doing that, which we call the learning agility, then these people will have also a great future in the company. And today I'm very happy to tell you that in L'Oréal China, I came here a year ago and I discovered such a talented team. And when I say such a talented team, you could also, of course, say how they become so much talented. They become so much talented because they've been able to live in an environment where the company provides them the learning environment, and also give them the possibility to adjust all the time. This is what the learning agility. Being able to change some jobs, to be able to grow their experience, and by doing that you learn, and by doing that you also grow, and by doing that also you develop your talent. That's a bit a third secret recipe I'm telling you about L'Oréal. We love to develop people, we believe in people, and we take risk to put sometimes young people on big jobs. and we take sometimes risks to take people from job to job because we believe in the capacity of people to learn in a very agile environment.
Great. We have talked about so many topics, innovation, people management. So my final question is not about crisis management, it's about change management.
Yes.
So in recent months, our life and our work has been changed a lot, completely. And so far we have no idea how enduring and devastating the economic slump will be. But some people would like to make forecast. They believe that some changes in our life and work will just fade away. They are just short-term fads. But some other changes will turn out to be the new normal. So what is the new normal? Some of my academic colleagues, they have theories in their brain. For example, they believe that the consumer's motivation system will go through a mind shift. They have a theory known as regulatory focus theory. According to this theory, while people are buying and consuming, they have two motivations. The first motive is known as promotion focus. That is the motive to approach the ideal state. The other motive is prevention focus. That is to avoid the undesired state. So that two motives, promotion focus to approach, prevention focus to avoid. So if economy is boosting, so people are more likely to be driven by the promotion focus to approach the ideal. But now, economic recession, their mind shift take place, and then this shift their mindset to prevention focus. So my colleague's prediction is that, that's the new normal. People are less promotion focus dominant. They will follow a more prevention focus dominant shopping habit. So this is my question. On our way to the new normal, what are the trends or mega trends reshaping the business landscape that you would like to highlight, share with us? And in the new normal, what's your hope, what's your fear? And how can we get prepared for the so-called new normal?
No, I think, the new normal is, as you said, of course, this past 2 months and this epidemic, things will come back to a certain stage, and you call it new normal. It could be a new reality. There will be an impact, of course, from consumer behaviors, and this is something very normal. Then again, I can speak about beauty because this is my domain. I think beauty has a big role to play, and we've seen it in many occasions. When there was a crisis, financial crisis in 2008, we call it the lipstick effect.
Yeah.
It means that more the crisis were there and more lipstick was growing. We saw also when there was the epidemic of the SARS, there was a V shape, it went down and then it went up and even stronger. And why is that? Is that beauty is not a commodity. Beauty is a quest for something better. And when it comes, for instance, skincare as a category, people take care about their skin because they believe that a beautiful skin is also beautiful from inside. So there is also willingness of the people to also take care of themselves. But they will look at products that are safe. They will look at products that are efficient. They will look at products in a more rational way. And this is where it's things that we might change. This is why, as brands, we have also to adapt, to communicate to the consumers about the benefits of our products, about the efficacy of our product, about the commitment of our product, and about the formulation of our product, to echo this moment where they are coming back to consumption, but they have a new probably desire or a new expectation when it comes to this consumption. So this is one side. From the other side, I also see in this moment emerging of new opportunity. And talking about new opportunity, because consumption will want to see probably also new innovation, which could address what they're looking at. Or it could be also new brands which talk to them differently, because they want to get out of this period and discover something new. But we saw also new ways of marketing, new ways of retail. The O+O will probably become a new reality in this market. This new opportunity is, of course, for L'Oréal, also as being always, ahead of our curve, a very good opportunity for us to build capability and being able to surf on these new opportunities. And we've been like this, we've been adapting all our business models for years. This is why today we're number one in China, is because we adapt always our business model. So the mindset of adaptation is always there. The willingness is there. the consumer centricity is there, and if you have all these three, you need one more thing is the people and the talent to all read this kind of changes. But when you see this kind of changes happening, but then you can very fast way respond to them. So when you tell me what are my fears, the fears is probably to imagine that everything will come like before, because it will not come like before, but it will not be worse. It can only be better for the people that they will be able to read that how things are moving in a better way and respond to this better. So I see honestly a lot of opportunities. I'm very confident by the China market. I'm very confident by the Chinese consumers. I'm very confident with my Chinese teams here in L'Oréal China, and also very confident on this beauty industry, because beauty is also to build a better world, and we have a role to play into that.
Great. So I have learned that anyway, we cannot predict what finally the new normal turn out to be, but we have to get ready by developing the adaptive rationality in our organization.
Absolutely.
And personally, I hope that this kind of interview and learning can be the new normal for me and for my colleagues. Thank you for your time. 大家已经看到了我们今天所做的这样一场访谈，我们最大的一个主题就是增长，如何保证增长和促进商业的增长。我们分享了很多的观点，包括如何进行产品方面的创新，如何更好的服务市场，包括如何的去发展我们的人员。那么这里边让我印象非常深刻的一点就是费伯瑞先生提到的一个短语 test and learn， 通过测试来进行学习。但如果你在商学院混过的话，你会知道我们有另外的一个词叫做 experiment or experimentation， 要做实验。所以简单的来说的话，到底我们如何获得增长？那么有两种想法，第一个就是 we need big idea， 我们需要更加大的一些想法。我相信很多人去看所谓的访谈节目，就是摩拳擦掌的打算去听一个崭新的能够碾压一切的一个新的 idea， 你真的能够找到吗？就算这样的一个大的想法在他的公司取得了巨大的成功，你怎么能够确信到你的公司来就不是毒药呢？那么这样的一套想法被很多人更新了，说我们可能靠 big idea 大的想法并不能够获得增长的机会。那我们下个想法就是获得 big data， 我们要找大的数据。那说到数据的话，很多人会把它类比为一辆车里边所具有的燃料和燃油。那数据越多越完善的话，就相当于一辆车里边有更多的燃料可以驱动它。但这本身并不足以让一辆车行驶得快，行驶得远。还有另外的一个要素，那就是你的发动机到底有多么的强大，这是我们说的你的分析能力，你的算法 analytics or algorithm。那么现在确实有一些企业拥抱了这样一条想法，靠大的数据，靠算法，靠人工智能，靠机器学习来推动了企业的增长。但是有一点，那就是不能够把这种大的数据以及分析本身作为一种魔法，认为因此你就能够得到最佳的实践 best practice。所以无论是 big idea 还是 big data， 无论是大的想法大的数据，人们总是认为说我很快就能够找到最佳实践，是不是最佳实践只有事后才会知道。所以我非常反感一个人说让我们优化一下这个策略，对不起，你现在并不能够证明它已经针对于你的目标达到了最好的结果，所以我们不能说优化。所以这个 test and learn， 刚才费总提到这个观点，我觉得非常好的一点就是他承认我们目前的做法远远没有达到最佳实践的程度。我们甚至明明知道我们进行测试，进行了实验，进行了 A/B test 之后，会有好几组的实验结果是非常糟糕的，还不如目前的状况。但是我们经常需要错误的尝试，糟糕的数据。打一个比方，所有熟悉这个数据模型的人都会知道怎么做一个优化呢？你的横轴 x 轴，纵轴 y 轴，你需要靠一堆数据点来能够拟合出来一条直线。那假如说你做得非常的好，这个纵轴是你要的那个 KPI， 你的点都在这个地方，那所有这个点都在这个高的这个位置，最后你能不能拟合出来一条线呢？你是拟合不出来的，因为这是一团圆球，有的这个圆球里边你是拟合不出来任何一条线的。但如果你有非常坏的数据，坏的数据在这个角落上，那就很好了。好的数据在这儿，坏的数据在这儿，你才能够拟合出来一条线，说啊，看来在这个地方的话，这个ROI 或者这个回归系数有多么的强。所以 test and learn 它其实代表了一种思想。第一个就是很多的数据并不一定需要 big 才能解决问题。第二个 big data 经常给我们一种习惯和惰性，那就是寻找已经有的数据，无论是公司内还是公司外的。而 test and learn 或者说实验的思想，它告诉我们说， 你为什么不结合你的商业决策的目标去创造数据，在小规模去创造出来直接符合你商业决策需要的那些数据？而且它还让我们有机会能够创造出来坏数据 （bad data）。所以我觉得大家不能够说，因为我想要一个所谓优化的结果，于是我就整天去看访谈，然后去读一些大抬头公司的报告，读了100份关于用户体验的报告之后，你学到了什么呢？非常宽泛的描述，然后的话你会发现相互冲突的观点，最后你就打听一下老板想要哪个观点，我就把符合他观点的那48份报告里边的观点集合在一起，证明他在全世界是很正确的。剩下52份不符合他的观点那些报告，你就全当他们不存在。那这种虚伪的思考和学习，有还不如没有的好。所以希望大家能够有一点 small thinking， 针对具体而微的管理决策来去做一些 A/B test， 做一些 test and learn， 做一些 experimentation。当然，这必须要有一个前提和基础。所以费总看到他公司内部的一些特点。那首先的话，就是这个公司愿意去授权给你的员工，愿意授权给员工去找到值得研究的问题啊，值得获取的数据，去完成这些测试。而这个授权有个前提，那就是信任。所以很多人对信任有一个误解，我们经常认为说什么东西值得人信任。首先我想说，信任并不是一个动作，信任是对另一方的可信赖性的回应。所以 trust is not action, it's a response to the other party's trustworthiness。所以我们每个人要去建立这样的可信赖性，这样的话别人才会信任你。而这种可信赖性并不是因为你强大来实现的，相反，可信赖性是建立在 vulnerability。你只有把自己放在一个脆弱的、容易被损害、容易让自己的善意被滥用、付之东流的情况下，这时候你才能够树立可信赖性。一家商场告诉你说，你买的任何商品都可以无条件的7天之内的退货，这时候谁脆弱？但是这个商场很脆弱呀，它明明可以被你去利用，而这时候这个商场在你的眼中就具有可信赖性。所以我觉得很多的企业领袖要去想一想，你到底做什么东西能够真正的让你的员工信赖你，或者更积极健康来说的话，让这个领袖和员工们彼此有积极的互信，从而让这个企业能够更多去授权给基层的员工们，让他们有足够多的资源和这个积极性来完成 test and learn， 最终的话去拓展一个企业可能实现增长的机会空间。我觉得这是我在这次的访谈中学习的印象最深刻的一点，不知道大家的体会是怎样的。